They are rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear until it is done.
Well, I figured it made sense to complete the brief history of Doom by talking about the new one. I know it's not retro technically, well, even slightly, but it is based on a classic retro franchise that we've already discussed. Just a word of warning, there are some minor spoilers maybe, so if you haven't got it yet and you really want to get it and you don't want to see anything that, like new weapons or anything like that,
turn away now.
Yeah, probably leave it.
Yeah. But don't turn off, carry on watching.
Absolutely, yeah. It sort of works like it's a classic old Doom game effectively. It doesn't really work like new shooters. It looks nice. There are like this, there's upgradable suits, like you can upgrade your health, your armour, your ammo capacity, but you don't have to do any of that to go through the game. It's effectively exactly the same as Doom used to be. You get from point A to point B, collect keys, and shoot anything that moves.
So it seems to be pretty much the same ethic as the originals, and you've even got some of the classic enemies in there.
Exactly, the enemies are all redesigned, but they're all recognisable. There are a couple of new ones, but even the Pinky Demon, he looks badass.
It's not Doom without
exactly.
Pinky Demon,
I mean, much like Brutal Doom, the last game that we looked at the mod that we looked at in the first video, the executions, now called the glory kills in this, they happen whenever you weaken an enemy and they start flashing.
And they are glorious.
Yep, you can. Yeah, you can.
They're called glory kills, and they are.
You can
glorious.
fuck them up, but yeah, because it's a quick game. It's very you're always effectively sprinting. There's no sprint button because it doesn't need one. You're always moving it really quickly.
No time for camping out here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you stay still, you get fucked up basically. But the glory kills don't really break up the flow at all. If anything, they're quite a welcome addition in that it gives you're invincible when you're doing them, and that you can teleport you teleport a very slight distance to your enemy to fuck them up. But it doesn't break up the flow of the game. I say it gives you a couple of seconds rest.
Got it. Yeah.
When everyone's doing you in. Because I mean there are a lot of rooms where you are up against a shitload of enemies and they're all mental.
All bizarre.
Yeah. But one good thing is that there is still the infighting that happens in Doom games. So like you can come around a corner and you can see a room full of enemies beating the shit out of each other. Yeah. So if you want, you can just hang back.
Just watch for a little bit. What I find is the visuals. Weirdly, apart from the ultra violence, the visuals remind me of Metroid Prime 2 for the GameCube. The way it feels, just the way you're obviously walking around some spaceships and terrain and things, and just the way you can see your character picking up extra items and upgrading its suit, that sort of thing.
That's
very much Samus Aran.
Yeah, everything happens from a first-person perspective, so you are immersed in this. Although I will add, there is much like a classic Doom. The story is exactly the same. There is.
Why change it?
If you're looking for a deep and meaningful story, I mean, just don't bother.
No.
It's like nobody says they watch the Rush Hour films for the hard-hitting detective stories. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen. So yeah, I mean, if you're expecting a massively deep story, don't bother. Watch the fucking Crying Game or whatever.
Go and play The Last of Us or something.
Yeah,
Uncharted.
Fine. Just play anything else really. Just not a Doom game, because I mean, this does have a bit of a story, but it's exactly the same. The Doom guy, you wake up on Mars and demons are there. And then you go to hell, fight some demons there.
Because we already know what it's going to be about. There's no point in building it up, is there? I mean,
exactly.
You may as well just go straight into it, and because you know you're playing Doom.
The whole focus is like that, beating the shit out of people.
It's like the sequel to Jaws. I mean, with Jaws 2, you see the shark straight away because you know what it's about already. There's no need for a build up at all.
Yeah, nobody's gone. They want some suspense before they find out exactly what kind of monster this is.
So we know what it's about. Anyone know what it's about? No, just before we go in.
Like aliens. Yeah.
So you may as well just straight in there, show everything straight away, because we all know what it's about. We don't need to build it up. And if you don't, then it's exactly. A new experience for you anyway.
The only surprise is just how violent this game is, and it is. I mean, like we said earlier in the other video, the first one got a lot of flack for how violent it was. But this one, you can break an enemy's leg and shove it in his fucking mouth. I mean, it's unbelievably violent.
It's not the mid-90s anymore, is it?
No.
People aren't going to care as much. I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't like this sort of thing, then don't play it, I guess. There's no point in going home and writing a Guardian article about it and crying into your Merlot.
The Guardian loved this, yeah.
Did
The
they?
Guardian absolutely loved it, yeah.
That's bizarre.
I was gonna, yeah. I mean, this. I'm only talking about the single-player game, by the way. The single-player game is what I feel a Doom game is for, really. That's the only reason I bought this. The
I haven't
multiplayer
seen-
is utterly. I mean, it's not great.
There is a multiplayer there because I haven't
Yeah.
seen. I've only had a look at the first person. There's a multiplayer. Is it online? I take it.
Yeah, but it's not bad, but there are too many because it tries to be an old school shooter, but it also tries to tie it in with modern elements,
See,
and
that-
they don't really work.
This part here, just before we came to these monsters, the way he twisted the skull and opened the door, it just
Yeah.
reminded me of Metroid Prime for the GameCube. Personally,
That's it. I mean,
it just looks.
That's it, I mean-
Stylistically, it looks similar.
you get from A to B stuff like you find new weapons. You get from A to B, and you just shoot anything that's in the way. It does keep, as I say, the momentum keeps flowing. I found it kind of cheap in a few areas where it chucks you into an arena, and you've got to kill waves of enemies. I always found those to be a little bit grating, and that they just seem to exist to eke out a campaign a little bit, but they're not frequent enough that they ruin the experience.
Some of these kills are just.
Yeah, that's it.
there's
I mean,
so much.
some of them are fucking brutal. Like, yeah, you slit a pinky demon's throat
Yeah.
with its own tooth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's all the power-ups are still there as well. So I mean, it's got every element of a classic Doom game, but it's just chucked in some more stuff.
Seems to have had quite a good reception as well,
Yeah.
from what I've seen online and even the media and the press.
Yeah.
Just looking at it, you I know you enjoyed playing it first time around, Chris. And
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this gets a 9 out of 10 solid from me. It's fantastic. So if you haven't got it, fucking buy it.